What evokes memories of the 80s? It's this Gilbert Kylie the series, Kylie's first time directing a teen group drama. The story is based on a couple of kids growing up 3 years ago, using nostalgic objects that the Zeros don't even know about, such as BBS, electronic pets, and Kylson. With the dusky tones of a small country town, the story of friendship, family, and love happens to the teenagers. There are 4 parallel storylines in the play. A love line where Jack falls for a disabled girl, and a bonding line between Hassan, a school bully, and his grandfather. Today we take a look at the main BL threads, the online friends meeting in reality, and Knuckles' love present with her neighbor Kyle, the popularity of pen pals in elementary school. Gukilip and the next school Golf is the same grade classmate number of pen pals. The letters have been exchanged for years, but the two have never met. Gukilip has a lot of pimples on his face, while Golf is tall and handsome, the school's favorite, and the leader of the Guard of Honor at the games. Golf especially wants to meet with Gukilip, but Gukilip is so inferior that he doesn't want Golf to see such an ugly version of himself. With the encouragement and companionship of his friends, Gukilip plucked up the courage to come to Golf's school. Although Golf doesn't meet him, a crush is planted in Gukilip's mind. After that, the thing he looks forward to and enjoys most every day is getting a letter from Golf, and another CP that communicates by text is Kyle and Knuckly. Knuckly is not incapable of speaking. He was stimulated as a child and won't talk anymore. A single mother brings him to live in a small town, and his neighbor Kyle is the first friend Knuckly makes. Kyle also learned sign language during his time with him. In the blink of an eye, the era of letters has passed. Gukilip and Golf start chatting on Kylson. Kyle was also excited to teach Knuckly to chat on the computer. Knuckly doesn't have the means to go to a regular school, and after school, he goes and gives Knuckly his own school notes so that he can study on his own at home. The two of them go to the movie theater to see a horror movie. Knuckly is especially happy on the way home, listening to Kyle babble on. He spoke for the first time.
Huh?
The day of the release of the results, everyone got into their favorite schools and majors. Kyle takes the good news and is the first to tell Knuckly, and the cheering to don't realize that they are about to face separation. A friend I used to see every day leaves for Bangkok. Kyle looks at Knuckly as he clings to him and promises him that he will chat with him every day on Kylson. As Kyle turns around, Knuckly tells him to check back often. This is the second time Knuckly has spoken, and Kyle is surprised, but he has to go.
Bye-bye.
Knuckly looked at the faraway bus. Tears fell indisputably. Separation doesn't mean the end. It could be the beginning of another journey. Gukilip meets Golf on his first day on college campus. He lied to Golf online that he got into another university, but fate is just so marvelous that the two of them not only got into the same school, but also the same class and the same major.
ของเราหาไม่เจออ่ะขอบคุณนะแล้วนายชื่ออะไรอ่ะเราชื่อกอล์ฟนะชื่อกอนะ
Though he managed to get a word in edgewise, Gukilip fled in terror, but because he's from the same place, Golf is extraordinarily warm to him. Gukilip is embarrassed and shy about being so close to his crush and having to play it cool at a college entrance event, but now Gukilip is also bolder and willing to take the initiative to get closer to the people he likes. Meanwhile, Kyle took to Kylson to check in with Knuckly. The increasingly busy schedule of school and various activities has caused Kyle to neglect his interaction with Knuckly. Knuckly stares at Gukilip's avatar on a chat program every day, waiting for it to blink. The loneliness and loss made him cry so much that his eyes swelled up. He was so depressed that he even snapped at his mom. Mom said that everyone is growing and changing and trying to move forward again, and if he continues to close himself off, he will just stay put, and no one will be waiting for him all the time. But Knuckly can't understand his mom's good intentions, and he still chooses to be mute. While waiting for Kyle's reply, Knuckly receives a friend invite from a former classmate. Knuckly's emotions finally have an outlet. It doesn't take long for Kyle, the lackluster, to finally figure it out and call Knuckly to make her happy, but it causes an even bigger misunderstanding. Gukilip and Golf become closer. They do their homework together and eat together. But Gukilip's identity hasn't been discovered yet, and he has to be constantly on guard to see if he's showing any signs of weakness. Golf said he wanted to use his computer to look up information. He thought of his account had not logged out and rushed over in a hurry. The moment they meet, Gulp is so shy he blushes while Golf snickers. It looks like it's a two-way crush again. Golf asks Gulp to go out sketching, under the guise of writing assignments for a date.
จริงเหรอข้าว2 มื้อ
But Golf, who is so happy he's giddy, accidentally falls while walking.
เฮ้ยเป็นไรปะเนี่ย
Gulp helped him back to his house, and when he went out to get a band-aid, Golf suddenly found, in Gulp's room, a sketch of his hometown landscape. The painting is signed by Gulp, his pen pal of 10 years. Against room with Gulp's artwork, then the answer seems clear. Gulp confesses to being the pen pal after being pressed by Golf. He thought Golf would be angry and even start to hate himself.
ที่อยู่ข้างกูมาตลอดอะ
But the words, finally found you, a relief to the inferior and worried Gulp. Golf also couldn't wait to show Gulp some love. The longtime online friend finally shows up, and Golf shakes Gulp's hand, asks him to be his boyfriend, and offers to move in together. This is a bold and passionate pursuit. Gulp is smiling in a very happy way. Gulp, this couple fixed it. And back home, Nuckley's life is about to take a major turn. Nuckley is a young woman who has been ridiculed by her classmates during the day, and Nuckley picks up a bottle of pills and prepares to die. Just then, the sound of something heavy falling to the ground comes from outside the door. Nuckley goes out to see that her mom has fainted on the ground. Nuckley was scared out of her wits, her mouth repeating broken cries. But Mom is still unconscious. Who had not spoken for many years, had not been able to speak in complete sentences for a while under extreme fear. He relies on the repeated word, Mom, to get help from his neighbors and calls Mom, Nuckley outside the operating room, alone and scared. Until Kyle shows up and says, "Sorry, I'm late, which is worth 1,000 words. Kyle tells him that Nuckley's mom was there for him as an anonymous online friend when he was too busy with school and neglected Nuckley. Nuckley went through this and decided to reconcile with himself, and he was willing to open up and talk. Mom has finally waited for her son to say Mom after more than 10 years. Mother and son reunite with Kyle's help. Nuckley tells Kyle that when he was 5 years old, he witnessed his dad and mom fighting. Dad killed himself with a gun in a feat of rage. This incident hit him so hard that it made him mute. Now he is willing to talk about these painful past events because he knows that only by overcoming his fears will he not lose the people who love him. A year later, everyone has graduated and the phone in their hands has been replaced by the iPhone 4. Changes in the way we communicate seem to subtly change the way we relate to each other. Golf is always too busy to spend time with Gulp as he leaves school and enters the workforce. After receiving a wedding invitation from his senior and his same-sex partner, Gulp has second thoughts about his relationship with Golf.
โอ้โหดีใจด้วยนะครับถ้าว่างก็มานะ
A long run of love for many years to the end, usually either marriage or breakup. What will Gulp and Golf choose when times and society do not allow same-sex marriages? On the other hand, Nuckley and Kyle are discussing opening a store to continue to live a very sweet life.
ก็เพราะเป็นเมมไง
At night, Kyle is staying over at Nuckley's house. When it comes to the question of whether to sleep on the bed or the floor, Kyle gets formal and says he'd rather sleep on the floor. I don't know if Nuckley lost her heart or not, but Kyle was tossing and turning all night anyway. Nuckley innocently asks him what's wrong, and Kyle just says that his mom holds his hand when he sleeps. 20-something years old. Your mom still has to hold your hand at night and put you to bed. Really? I don't believe it. In contrast to the sweet couple, Gukkulip and Golf's relationship, however, has a crack. To celebrate the anniversary of their relationship, Gukkulip decorated the room, lit candles and cooked a nice meal, but it's past 12 and Golf hasn't shown up yet. After working late in the middle of the night, Golf came in late and tried to muddle through the same way he had done countless times before.
เรามีอะไรจะบอก
But Gukkulip took a long time to make up his mind, and he broke up with Golf. Golf looks at Gukkulip, says okay, and walks away. Gukkulip can't believe Golf didn't even retain him after so many years of relationship that ended so badly. The breakup should be honorable. Back in the car, Golf retains his decency in front of people, then hides and cries. A few days later, Golf returns to his cohabitating home to pack up his things, looking at items left over from when he used to be pen pals with Gukkulip. Golf chatters on about those days. Gukkulip turned his back on him and wept silently.
นี่กับเราใช่ไหม
Golf makes an excuse to show Gukkulip the trunk of the car, and in the box is a handwritten letter from Golf to Gukkulip. Past memories come flooding back, and the letter is about Golf and his time as pen pals and online friends.
ต่อให้กันจะไม่กล้าบอกความจริงเราก็ตาม เราดีใจมากเหมือนเราได้เจอกับ
It turns out that Golf has a long-running crush on Gukkulip. Though, at this moment, Gukkulip finally understands Golf's heart and can't help but cry out in pain. Afterwards, Golf and Gukkulip want to emigrate to the United States. They got married over there with a license and are a legally protected couple, but because they miss their hometown and parents too much, they decided to live in Thailand and wait together for the day when same-sex marriage will be legalized. At the end of the day, our knuckly reaps the rewards of happiness.